Tottenham Hotspur 2, Manchester United 2, and right at the death we come away with a point, and I can't say we didn't deserve it. I do think we did. The least we deserved from this game was a point. But before we get into that, let's speak a little bit about the starting 11 in the first half, and we'll take it from there. So, in terms of the starting 11, I was a little bit disappointed with it because it wasn't my exact starting lineup that I would have gone for. So Ruben Amorim decided to put Lammens in net. Of course, he is our starting goalkeeper now, which is good. A back three of Ligt, Maguire and Shaw, a midfield four of Mazraoui, Casemiro, Bruno and Dogu, and then a front three of Ahmad, Mbeumo and Cunha. So the only changes from my lineup was that Mazraoui and Maguire actually started ahead of Euro and Sesko, and personally I'd have started Euro and Sesko ahead of Mazraoui and Maguire. But apart from that, I was pretty happy with the lineup. And yeah, so in terms of the first half, I thought that we started a little bit poorly. Tottenham were high pressing us aggressively and not giving us any time on the ball, and United were a little bit poor from playing it out from the back. So quite often than not, the ball would go back to Lammens and we'd just go long from there, and we'd try win the second balls like we have been doing previously in previous matches. But in terms of the first half spectacle, it wasn't a great game in the first half because neither side had too many chances, especially in getting shots off on target. I think there was only one shot on target in the first half, and that was the goal. And the goal came in the 32nd minute through Brian Mbeumo after an initial cross in from Dogu from the left. Mbeumo tries to head that cross towards goal, but can't. Tottenham failed to get it clear. The ball falls to Ahmad on the right side, who crosses it in towards the far post for Mbeumo to head it in. And we scored with the first shot on target of the match, and it was a great ball by Ahmad, great assist from Ahmad. I think Tottenham gave a little bit too much time on the ball for Ahmad to actually pinpoint across towards Brian Mbeumo, but Brian Mbeumo rises high and gets a free header in the box basically to make it 1-0 in the 32nd minute. And I have to say, it was poor defending by Spurs to give Ahmad that much time to cross it in. But they failed to kind of block the initial cross which comes in from Dogu, and from that cross from Dogu, Mbeumo tries to head it towards goal, but it kind of just deflects off his head. And then I think the Spurs left back, I don't know who it was now, I think Jed Spence, he tries to win the header, but he doesn't quite get it clear. The ball falls to Ahmad with space in the Spurs box, and he has time to pick out a cross for Mbeumo, crosses it in towards Mbeumo, and Mbeumo heads it in. So it's a good goal by United, and we score with the first shot of the match, but it's poor defending by Spurs. And then the commentators gave us start. Spurs have picked up 2 points from losing positions in the league this season, and also Tottenham are winless. Were winless in the last 18 Premier League games, conceding first, drawing 4 and losing 14 since beating Aston Villa 4-1 in November last year. So it was kind of looking good in terms of some stats for United, but in terms of the first half, that was it really. Neither side had too many chances. It was a little bit of a boring first half, and both sides didn't really create anything. We'll get into some stats for the first half as well. But in terms of a halftime summary, United had 46% possession compared to Spurs' 54%. We had 3 shots with 1 on target, but I thought we were a little bit poor going forward. Defensively, I thought we were okay, and Spurs didn't really threaten us too much in the first half, and defensively we looked good. We reduced Spurs to no shots on target in the first half, so that was decent by us. But in terms of the second half, we almost got off to another horrible start like we did last week. Lammens has to make 2 good saves, one in the 54th minute. A ball from the left curls in and finds Romero to poke on goal inside the 6-yard box. It's straight at the keeper, but he does brilliantly to flick it around the post with his right leg, and that could have been 1-1. It was a really good save and a good shot by Romero, but either side of Lammens is probably 1-1 in the 54th minute. But then again, it's straight at Lammens, and Lammens has to make a good save. Then 2 minutes later, in the 56th minute, he has to make another good save. Another cross comes into the United area, and it's half-headed clear before Palhinha volleys it towards goal. The ball goes through Maguire's legs, but the young Belgium keeper parries it away nicely, and United could have, we could have gone basically, and if they had scored them goals in the 54th and the 56th minute, then we could have been 2-1 down early on in the second half, like we had done against Nottingham Forest last week. But thankfully that wasn't to be. We do make a substitution in the 58th minute. Mazraoui does go off for Sesko, and then Ahmad then gets moved into the right wing back position. And then I thought Ahmad was our best player today. I thought he was really, really good. Looked really threatening going forward. Defensively, he was okay, but he didn't manage to block a couple of crosses. I think crosses coming into the box, we need to get better at blocking. But yeah, Spurs do have the ball in the back of the net in the 62nd minute. A nice series of passes moves Spurs through the United half excellently before Richarlison feeds Johnson on the right. The Welshman slots into the bottom left corner, but is just offside. And of course he was offside, so it was a correct decision that the linesman made. But that was, we not had a good start to the second half whatsoever. Spurs are getting chances and we are getting a little bit lucky. Lammens may have to making some good saves. They score, but Johnson is offside. So we're kind of living a little bit precariously. We're kind of using all our lives with regards to the chances that we're giving Spurs, and Spurs probably should have been at least level at this point with the chances that they had been creating. But fortunately for us, we're still winning 1-0. And then in the 71st minute, Amram decides to make some substitutions to try shore up the match and kind of get us over the line here. Casemiro, Cunha and Maguire do go off for Ugarte, Mount and Euro. And then we do make the final substitution. Dogu does go off after picking up a yellow card, and on comes Dalot. I think Sesko did go off for injured. But in terms of Sesko, I think we weren't putting the ball in the box enough for Sesko. I think Sesko was making all the right runs, and his hold up play was decent as well. But he was getting into some dangerous positions, but we weren't putting the ball in. We weren't putting the ball into the box quick enough, in my opinion. And Sesko obviously. After 1-1, so in the 84th minute, Tell makes it 1-1. Udogie is found on the left and sends a whizzing pass into the feet of Tell inside the box. He turns excellently, and his shot deflects off Ligt up past Lammens, and that's 1-1. Then in the 86th minute, Van der Ven makes a huge tackle. Sesko is played in well and looks to shoot. However, Van der Ven somehow gets back to put in a brilliant sliding challenge to quell the danger. It's a brilliant recovery by Mickey Van der Ven. But I think Sesko possibly could be taking the shot a little bit earlier. I think he doesn't expect Mickey Van der Ven to make the tackle. I think he's expecting a little bit more time in the ball. But Van der Ven makes a really good recovery tackle, takes it away from Sesko. And if Sesko had kind of shot a little bit earlier, it could have gone in and it could have been 2-1 to United. But unfortunately, in the 89th minute or in the 88th minute, something like that, Sesko does go off injured, and with having United used all of the substitutions, we are down to 10 men for the rest of the match. And then unfortunately, in the 90+1 minute of injury time, Richarlison makes it 2-1. United fail to clear the corner. It comes to Odobert, who bends it towards goal. Richarlison helps on the ball with a deft header, and it goes into the bottom corner, right past Lammens. And I think Richarlison, obviously he's celebrating, takes his top off, gets a yellow card for it. He thinks he's won the game by scoring a late winner in the 90+1 minute of injury time. But fortunately for United, in the 90+6 minute of injury time, at the end of the second half, Ligt makes it 2-2. Bruno whips in a corner, and at the back post, Ligt heads it in. It's a really good header from the corner, and Luke Shaw does well to block some Spurs players from getting to the ball. And yeah, Luke Shaw does well. Ligt, obviously, really good header to make it 2-2. And I can't say we didn't deserve it. It was great character shown to get the equaliser yet again. We showed a great character last week to get back into the game, to get away from the City ground against Nottingham Forest with a point, and we showed great character again to get the equaliser with 10 men. And the least we, in my opinion, the least we deserved was a point, because for the majority of the match we defended pretty well. We reduced Spurs to only a couple of chances, especially in the first half. We defended really well, and on another day I think we come away with all 3 points. But I can't say we didn't deserve it. I think it is a little bit of another opportunity missed to move into second place in the Premier League. We could have moved into second place in the Premier League last week, but we only got a draw. This week we've only got a draw as well. So in terms of Ruben Amram's record in the Premier League, that's a total of 38 games he's managed, 12 wins, 9 draws, 17 losses, and he's accumulated a total of 45 points. That's his overall record in the Premier League. Obviously not great still, but I think last week it was 2 points dropped for United. I think it was a really good chance for us to actually come away from that Nottingham Forest game with all 3 points. I think because Nottingham Forest are a poor side, they're like 18th in the league or whatever. So last week I was disappointed. This week I'm a little bit relieved that we are coming away from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with a point, because obviously we were down to 10 men. Tottenham, obviously I think Tottenham played well in the second half. The least Tottenham deserved was a point also, but I think we are escaping. I think we are probably the better side here in terms of who's more happier, Tottenham or United. I think Man United are more happier coming away from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with a point as well. So yeah, overall I am a little bit relieved to be coming away with with a point. Obviously we were leading for the majority of the match because we scored in the 32nd minute, through Brown and Mbeumo. And if we had if we are better defensively, then there's no reason why we couldn't have won this game. But I think it was two poor goals that we conceded last week, and two poor goals that we conceded this week as well. But yeah, let's get into some player ratings, and then we'll get into some stats for the game. So Lammens obviously started in net. 2 goals conceded. He couldn't really have done too much about the goals. They were pretty much in the corner, and so I can't really blame him for the goals. But defensively, I think we have to be better in terms of trying to prevent goals, because we've conceded so many goals so far this season. I'm not sure how many, but we've only kept 1 clean sheet in 11 matches, which isn't great. We need to be doing better with regards to keeping clean sheets. But accurate passes, 17 out of 30 for Lammens, 57%. Accurate long balls, 10 out of 23. He did go long pretty often as well. We didn't really try to play out from the back. One time acted as a sweeper, 2 diving saves, 2 saves inside the box. So 2 saves overall. So okay game by Lammens. And then Matthias de Ligt. So he obviously got the equaliser, which was a good header by de Ligt. 37 out of 43 accurate passes. And then duels, he's won 4 out of 6, which is all right. So he had a decent game as well. I thought he was okay. Obviously for the goal that Tell scored in the 84th minute, he could have been doing a little bit better. He does get spun a little bit, and Tell kind of gets a yard of space off de Ligt, and then de Ligt can't really get back to make the block. Obviously, the goal, he does make a block, but it's deflected and it flies into the back of the net for Tell to get his goal. But I think possibly he could be doing a little bit better, get a little bit tighter to Tell, and then, possibly that goal doesn't go in. But yeah, Harry Maguire, 27 out of 28 accurate passes with 96%, played 72 minutes. I think he went off injured, but 1 out of 1 accurate crosses, 2 out of 2 accurate long balls, 1 out of 2 duels, all right game by him. And then Luke Shaw, 39 out of 48 accurate passes with an 81%. In terms of his duels, he's won 3 out of 4, which is all right. And then Mazraoui, 13 out of 17 accurate passes, 76%. I thought he was a little bit poor going forward. Defensively, he was okay, not too bad. But I think going forward, he needs to be doing a little bit better. We did lack that cutting edge on the right side, like we have seen in previous weeks, whereby Ahmad and Mbeumo have been linking up really well. Obviously, this match it was Mazraoui on this side, and then in terms of his duels, he's won 4 out of 5, which is decent. Casemiro, 72 minutes again, 24 out of 29 accurate passes with 83%, and 12 defensive contributions, which is decent by Casemiro as well. So I think he had an okay game. 5 passes into the final third, 1 out of 1 accurate crosses, 1 out of 1 accurate long balls. In terms of his duels, he's won 6 out of 12, so he's won 50% of his duels. Possibly could be doing a little bit better, but okay performance by him. Bruno Fernandes, I thought he was a little bit quiet in terms of creating chances going forward. Usually he's created about 3-4 chances in this game, but he only created 1. 34 out of 42 accurate passes with 81%. In terms of his duels, he's won 3 out of 8, which is alright, but not too bad, but possibly could be doing better with his duels. He's not won the majority, but 6 recoveries there in terms of defensively, 2 tackles as well. So he had an okay performance. 8 defensive contributions as well. But overall, I think obviously in previous matches, Bruno Fernandes has been creating more chances, even though he's playing in the DM position. But yeah, Dogu, he was okay, I suppose. He defended okay, got forward all right as well. 16 out of 29 accurate passes with 55%. He's got a 7.2 here on FootMob, 1 chance created, 7 defensive contributions as well. So I think defensively, especially in the first half, like I mentioned, we were playing pretty well and reduced Tottenham to only 1 shot on target. 5 passes into the final third for Dogu, and then in terms of his duels, he's won 9 out of 15, which is decent. He's won the majority of his duels. He's getting stuck in, and he was fouled 4 times as well, so he's getting free kicks for us as well. So okay performance by Dogu. And then Ahmad, I thought he was probably our best player going forward. He looked really dangerous every time he got the ball. And 23 out of 31 accurate passes, so with 74%. 2 chances created, 9 defensive contributions as well. 4 passes into the final third, 1 touch in the opposition box. In terms of his duels, he's won 7 out of 15. Possibly could be doing better because he's not won the majority, but he looked pretty dangerous going forward in my opinion. And but I do prefer him in the right wing back position, because then we've got a front 3 of Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko. But obviously that front 3 didn't start. And Brian Mbeumo, he did get the goal, obviously. So it was a well taken header in the 32nd minute. And then in terms of his accurate passes, 23 out of 28 with 82%. In terms of his duels, he's won 2 out of 9, which isn't great. Possibly could be doing better with his duels 1. But in terms of overall, I thought he was okay. Could be doing a little bit better going forward. But defensively, him and Cunha and Ahmad, obviously in the first half, did put in a good shift. Mateus Cunha, 72 minutes played, 17 out of 24 accurate passes with a 71%. Didn't create any chances, unfortunately, so I think a little bit of a poor game in terms of going forward for Cunha. In terms of his duels, he's only won 2 out of 8 as well, so possibly could be doing better there. But yeah, that's the starting 11. In terms of the substitutes, Benjamin Sesko came on and he had this really good chance, like I mentioned, I think in the 70th or 80th minute, but whereby Van de Ven has to make that tackle. And if he had taken a shot earlier, we don't know, that could have gone in, and then, you know, United could have been 2-1 up. In terms of his accurate passes, only 5 out of 6 with the 83%. Yeah, and in terms of his attacking performance, he wasn't great. Only 3 touches in the opposition box, 0 out of 1 successful dribbles. He was offside once, dispossessed 3 times as well, and only won 2 out of 8 duels as well, which isn't great. I think Benjamin Sesko, we need to be playing more to his strengths. We need to be getting balls into the box for him to head, and we're not doing that at the moment. Lenny Yoro, 18 minutes, he came on from Maguire. I think Maguire went off injured. 9 out of 11 accurate passes with 82%. Didn't win a duel, unfortunately, for him. And then Ugarte, unfortunately, we made the substitution, that we scored, and then Tottenham grabbed 2 goals after the substitution, which is a little bit disappointing that Amrim's substitutions weren't able to kind of see out the game. 7 out of 7 accurate passes, 6 defensive contributions, and then in terms of his duels, he's won 4 out of 5, which is decent. And then Mason Mount, he was tidy as well, only lasted 80 minutes, didn't really make a meaningful contribution going forward, only 8 out of 12 accurate passes, 2 out of 3 duels won. And then Diego Dallo lasted 10 minutes, came on for Dogu because Dogu picked up that yellow card. Possibly he doesn't want Dogu to get sent off, so that's why he brought him on. But Dallo, 3 out of 5 accurate passes, and then he won 2 out of 2 of his duels. But yeah, overall, I think that I think we're lucky. I think I would have. Obviously, we went 2-1 down, and then, you know, to get to level it up in the 90 plus 6th minute of injury time shows a great character by us to kind of come away from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with a point. I think it is a decent point at the end of the day, because we were down to 10 men as well, and obviously Tottenham got back into the game, especially in the second half. We take a look at the stats. In terms of the first half, we had a really good defensive performance in the first half. We reduced Tottenham to just 3 shots, none on target as well. So defensively, we did have a good first half, but in terms of the second half, I don't think we had a good second half whatsoever. So I think we are a little bit fortunate to be coming away with the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with a point. Tottenham had 7 shots with 4 on target, 2 big chances created, whereas United in the second half had 2 shots, 1 on target, 1 big chance, for United. And overall, I think that. Obviously, last week I was disappointed because we came away from Nottingham Forest with a point. But this week, I am a little bit relieved that we are coming away with a point. I think it's the least we deserved it personally. The least we deserved was a point, and obviously a little bit disappointed. Obviously, I want us to win every game, but we can't. We can't win every game. So overall, I'm all right with a point this week. Last week I was disappointed. Where does that leave us in the league table? Obviously, when we were leading against Tottenham, we were on 20 points, and we were in, I think, third, or I think we were in second, briefly, obviously. But now we are back down to 7th with 18 points. And with a +1 goal difference, we are in 7th. So, obviously, I think if we are to be getting into the Champions League spaces, we need to be picking up all 3 points against Forest and Spurs. I think on another day, with 10 men, and obviously if we had kind of been a little bit better defensively, we could be coming away from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with all 3 points. But overall, I'm all right with it. Next up after the international break, we do have Everton at home, so hopefully we can get back to winning ways at Old Trafford. Anyway, if you enjoyed this review, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.